Hi, I'm Dr. Ethell Vereen Jr., an assistant professor at Morehouse College in the Department of Biology. And my research interests are in water quality, environmental health, and also I have an interest in pedagogy, specifically in STEM pedagogy and Pan-African pedagogy. To improve health outcomes for Black men, we focus on education, engagement, and empowerment. So the first part of this education is just simply, raising awareness, informing Black men about what are some of the health disparities that are unique to Black men, what are some of the health challenges that are unique to men in general, but then also what are health opportunities and things they can do to improve their own health. And then we focus on, empowerment by, once you have that information and that education part, then the empowerment part is, well, then what are some of the things that you can actually do to actually, make that happen for yourself? We inform, our scholars and Black men in general about, where are, healthier food options, where are places where they can improve both mental health, to seek out counseling, what are opportunities there, spiritual health as well. And then in the class, we do invite, professional life coaches to come in and chat with our scholars, which is pretty cool. Our scholars enjoy that, but they really enjoy when we bring in, a chef and a nutritionist to the classroom also. So the last thing we do is engagement. So we engage our scholars both inside of the classroom and outside of the classroom. So we talk about things in the classroom where scholars can dialogue and communicate with each other about some of the health concerns that they have, both as college students and as men in general. But then also outside of the classroom, our scholars engage in creating infographics and public service announcements, or PSAs, where they actually share that information with community members and community groups. One of the things that we do in our classroom is we have sort of a barbershop model where our scholars will take their PSAs and these infographics and they actually go to local barbershops and they actually share that information, not only with, the patrons of the barbershop, but then, with the random folks, if you will. And then we also post those online as well, so that we have more of a global reach, which is something pretty cool that we're able to do here with our scholars at Morehouse. Additionally, how we're expanding health outcomes for Black men is through collaborations of faculty members here at Morehouse College. Part of this, or an example of this, is even with the men's health course that I developed the course, but it's been expanded to the chemistry department where one of our own colleagues and an alum of Morehouse, Dr. Lance Shipman Young, is actually teaching his own section of this course, adding his own unique flavor to that course, which is again helping us to expand these health outcomes of Black men beyond the biology department. But then we also have the Black Men's Research Institute here at Morehouse that is also helping us to improve and enhance all of these health outcomes for Black men. STEM is very important to us, especially in the men's health course. The men's health course was intentionally designed as a first year experience course for our introductory scholars, being first year, second year scholars, and also transfer students. And these are traditionally scholars who are not science majors. For this course, it's one of our gen ed courses, but it meets their scientific discovery requirement and their STEM requirement. So it's very important that within this course, we actually do explore STEM. And so we explore scientific questions with these scholars, and they actually have an opportunity to create questions for themselves. They not only have like lab experiences which are similar to what our science majors might be engaged in, but these scholars are actually having an opportunity to take their own majors and their own interest and develop scientific questions about them and to explore them, which is really cool. And through this, I've had a few scholars who've actually then gone on and actually changed their major and become biology majors, which is awesome that they do that. But it's not that we are sort of poaching scholars from other disciplines, but it's that our scholars are actually realizing that coming to us, sometimes scholars feel that STEM and science is challenging and it's something that they can't do. But through this course and others, our scholars are able to see that, science is something that I can do. Science can be fun. And I do have an aptitude for this. And then they then go on and they say, like, this is a pathway that's for me. And it's really cool to be able to, embed STEM and science into the men's health course in that way. So digital technology is continuing to change, right? And we're at the forefront now where the metaverse is becoming something that's going to be pretty omnipresent, sort of like TikTok and Instagram. And so at Morehouse, which is really cool, is that we have actually, we've made the metaverse the classroom. So with my course in particular, the men's health course, our class is actually taught in the metaverse, which is pretty awesome. So as we were, getting into the pandemic and everyone was moving out of their classes and courses online, Morehouse was, a pioneer in that we, took a lead in actually embracing this technology. Here now we have our VR coordinator, Dr. Messina Morris. So along with her and two other colleagues, Dr. Tanya Clark and Dr. Ethell Hamilton, we were the first cohort and the first group to actually have our courses being taught on the metaverse. And so I taught the men's health course. Dr. Clark taught, English class, and Dr. Ethell Hamilton taught a history class, and Dr. Morris taught sections of our chemistry course in the metaverse. So what's really cool about, teaching in the metaverse is that it's completely immersive. So although, there are some things that you can do on on a Zoom or some of these other meeting conferences, these video platforms that everyone was using at the time. You can create breakout rooms where you can have scholars talk about different things in different rooms. But in the metaverse, we could have our scholars actually connect as if we were actually in that same space together. And there are no limitations as far as like location. So we could one day be in Egypt, traversing the pyramids of Giza. And then on another day, we're underwater diving with sharks. So why would we be doing that in a men's health course? Because we want to show our scholars that it's possible and that you can do this, right? But, one of the really cool things that we can do in the metaverse is that our scholars get to interact with these anatomical objects that are, that we've created. So they're biological organs and things that we've created and actual systems that our scholars can explore. And we've seen that, our scholars, their competence has actually improved, but actually being in the metaverse and exploring these. And what I've seen is that, yes, in a traditional face-to-face classroom, I have models of the heart where I actually have these models of the heart, and the scholars actually, they can manipulate the model of the heart and they can move it around and they can actually look at some of these different lobes, and we can talk about the circulatory system. But actually in the metaverse, it becomes alive to them because we can then, we can take a heart and then we can make that heart as large as a room. And then the scholars can actually walk inside of that heart and actually be inside of the different lobes and actually themselves become like red blood cells where they're actually moving around the circulatory system. And being able to do that, that is transformative.